You have probably felt it before. That unsettling moment where you mention a niche hobby to a friend, or perhaps you just thought about buying a specific brand of running shoes, and 10 minutes later, there it is, on your feed. A perfect recommendation. Most people are convinced their phones are secretly recording their every word. But the truth is actually much more impressive and a little more haunting. The machines don't need to listen to your voice to know what you want. They've already built a mathematical twin of your personality that is more accurate than your own self-perception. In the early days of the internet, feeds were simple. They were chronological. You saw the newest post first, then the next, like a digital newspaper. But as the volume of content exploded, the fire hose became unmanageable. If you follow 1,000 people, a chronological feed is a chaotic mess. To survive, platforms had to stop being libraries and start being editors. But how do you hire an editor for 4 billion people? This was the curse of choice, and the solution changed the world: collaborative filtering. Between 2006 and 2009, Netflix offered $1 million to anyone who could improve their recommendation engine by just 10%. This contest became the catalyst for modern curation. The winning insight was simple. If person A likes the same 10 movies as person B, they probably share latent factors. If person A then watches an 11th movie and loves it, there is a statistical certainty that person B will like it too. This is collaborative filtering. It doesn't need to know what the movie is about. It only needs to know who else liked it. But the winning algorithm was actually never fully used. It was too computationally expensive to run in real time. Efficiency, it turns out, is more important than perfect accuracy. Today, platforms use something called a two-tower neural network. Imagine every piece of content is assigned a set of coordinates in a 1,000-dimensional space. This is a vector. One tower processes everything it knows about you: your device, your location, the last 10 videos you watched. The other tower processes everything about the content. The algorithm's job is to calculate the mathematical distance between your tower and the content tower. When you open an app, it's performing millions of these dot product calculations in milliseconds to see which videos are currently closest to your location in this invisible map. It happens in 3 stages. First, candidate generation. The system narrows down billions of possibilities to a few thousand based on your broad interests. Second, ranking. A much more complex model scores these candidates. It's not just looking for a click, it's predicting how long you'll watch. Finally, re-ranking. This is where the platform adds noise or diversity. If the ranking says you want 10 videos about carpentry, the re-ranker might swap 2 of them for something completely different just to see if you'll bite. This is the exploration versus exploitation trade-off. In 2012, YouTube made a decision that fundamentally changed the internet. They stopped optimizing for clicks and started optimizing for watch time. Before this, the algorithm favored clickbait, thumbnails that promised things the video didn't deliver. But YouTube realized that if you click and then immediately leave, you're unhappy. If you stay for 10 minutes, you're hooked. This shift gave birth to the modern video essay and longer-form storytelling. It proved that algorithms don't just reflect our behavior. They dictate what kind of art is even worth making. If YouTube is a slow-moving river, TikTok is a jet engine. TikTok's competitive advantage, often called the monolith system, is the velocity of its feedback loop. Most platforms update their understanding of you in batches, maybe every hour. TikTok does it in real time. Every second you don't swipe, every rewatch, and every time you check the comments is fed back into your vector instantly. It's not that the AI is smarter, it's just faster. It can pivot your entire feed toward a new interest before you've even finished your first cup of coffee. There is a danger here. Engineers call it the optimization trap. If an algorithm only shows you what you've liked before, your world gets smaller. You enter an echo chamber not because of a conspiracy, but because of math. However, the latest research suggests something surprising. Algorithmic feeds might actually expose us to more variety than we would find on our own. Left to our own devices, we tend to stick to the same 3 websites. The algorithm, in its quest to explore your interests, often throws wildcards at you that you would never have searched for manually. The invisible editor isn't a mind reader, and it isn't a villain. It is a mirror. It is a high-speed statistical engine that attempts to solve the problem of too much information by turning your preferences into coordinates. But remember, the algorithm can only optimize for the you that clicks and scrolls, not the you that wants to learn a new language or go for a walk. We aren't just consumers of these feeds. We are the data that trains them. And the most powerful way to change what you see is to change what you do.